right, when you're wanting to surf at a more advanced level, it pays to have a more advanced understanding of the transitions of your beach or point break or reef. Having a good understanding of the architecture to the sea floor really benefits your surfing for the fact it gives you better wave selection. If you imagine a shoreline just in here, and we've got waves coming into the shore here, it's an aerial view. We know if you've just got one big sandbank like this, it's just all one piece. When the waves come in, they're just going to close out. So if you're looking to go out and really get across the face of an unbroken wave, a sandbank like this is going to be no good. This isn't going to be a great transition for your surfing. Whereas if you change this, and obviously you can tell because you turn up, and when you look at the waves, they all close out in one unit. Whereas if you turned up and you've got a transition to the beach like this, now as the waves come in, you're going to have nice lefts here peeling off to the right, and you're going to have nice rights here peeling off to the left, and you're going to have what you call a perfect split peak in the fact you've got lovely lefts and lovely rights coming off of this point right here. But where you want to really be sort of studying waves before you go out, really watching how they break, because obviously if the waves come in and they break all in one movement, then yes, close out. We can tell that bank has got no channels or dips in it. There's no raised points to cause the waves to peel off nicely. Whereas if we've got a sandbank shape like this, as a wave comes in, it will come in as a peak, start to break and peel off in both directions. So a wave like this is perfect. One person can go this way, one person can go this way, but it's not a perfect wave for coming off the bottom, off the top. But let's just say, when you turn up, the waves aren't peeling perfectly. Let's just say, when you turn up, you've got waves peeling off to, nice lefts peeling off to the right. You've got a sandbank that comes in like this. So now all of a sudden, when the wave comes in, you'll see it break here and almost close out this section. So if you're going to want to surf, you're going to want to be taken off around here to ride this nice bit of a shoulder. But then if you look, as the sandbank comes in, there's a straight edge on it, which is going to cause the wave to drop a section. So you might see it peeling off perfectly. As it's peeling off perfectly, all of a sudden this section walls up, and there's either going to drop and maybe be too much to get round, or maybe if you're going fast enough at the time, you can get past this section and onto this nice section here where the wave peels nicely again into the shore break. But my point of this is having a good understanding of your transitions knows what you're going to be doing with your surfing when you go out. So if you're looking at a wave like this, as it comes in, one, you're not going to be wanting to sit too deep on it because you might not make this section. You want to be taking off, and where you might have done a couple of cutbacks or just coming off the bottom, off the top nicely, here, this part of the section, you're going to want to get going. Because if there's a chance you can make this onto this, it means you know further down that wave, there's a section that pops up that you've really got to get your foot on the accelerator and get yourself going. And it's having a good understanding of the transitions of your beach that can really help you develop your surfing. Because, like I say, if this transition's not like this, and this transition just comes down nicely like that, the wave's going to, like I say, shut down a section here and then just peel nicely out on the end here. And a nice easy channel sitting over here to paddle out. And again, you might find you turn up and you've got a couple of transitions on your beach. One like this, and then one like this. And here you're going to have nice rights peeling off to the left here, and you're going to have nice lefts peeling off to the right here, and a nice channel to paddle out through in the middle. And again, You can tell this by when you turn up, watching where the waves are consistently breaking. Sometimes because when waves break, they displace water. The water seeking its own level can change the water levels a bit, so the waves can become a little bit, what we call a little bit shifty, and not always breaking in the exact same place. But there's always a rhythm to it. And by watching your wave, so if you see a wave break perfectly, and then as it peels along, all of a sudden it drops a section. Obviously, there's a shallow bit there. There's a change in the transition of the beach. But again, when you're wanting to really develop your surfing, obviously, if you want to go out and you want to be practicing your cutbacks, you're going to need a nice peeling wave like this, or like this. But if you turn up, and let's just say, for instance, you've got a transition on the beach, like this wave's going to peel, but it's going to be fast. So if you've got a transition like this, where the wave breaks and then just starts running and walling up and just running off in front of you, the chances of going out and practicing cutbacks on a wave like that is not going to happen. That's a wave you're really going to want to attack and be looking at keeping down the line, where it's clipping the lip or speed turns to really chase that wave down. Whereas, like I say, you see I'm mainly using lefts because I'm a goofy footer. If you've got a transition that just comes off like that, at more of an angle, now that wave's not going to run away from you so fast. It's going to hug that sandbank and allow you to go out and practice your cutbacks. So if you're not as good as really generating speed and getting off down the line, you might find a sandbank like this is perfect for you. Whereas again, if all of a sudden we intensify that angle and just shelve it off like that, that wave's going to run very quickly. And you can tell this by looking at the ocean and watching how the waves break, where they first break and then what they do as they run their way along the line. I hope that makes sense. Bit of a rant, but yes, hope it was useful.